everybody? Brady here. As you know, if you regularly watch this podcast, first off, I'm sorry. Secondly, you know very well that technology absolutely hates us. Because, we've had lots of episodes just have issues with technology before, and this episode actually has an error caused by technology. If you've seen the last episode, Brady's Birthday Bombs, that episode took way longer than initially planned because it had no audio when we first put it in. And at the time of the recording for this episode, that was still the issue. There was no sound, so we thought this would be 87. But now this is episode 88, so we apologize for the errors, and please enjoy.
So as you know, we are Hot Take Sports, so we enjoy sports in general. Brady, what was your favorite sporting event you've ever been to?
I would have to say probably the playoff game between the Guardians and the Yankees at the end of last season in the playoffs.
Oh, good one. Isaac?
Browns-Bills.
Browns-Bills. Leo?
Yeah, my favorite one was this Crew home opener this year, being front row, witnessing the magic of Lucas Zelleran.
Oh, yeah. Great time with the boys. Clayton?
One of my personal favorites from the last year was my dad and I went to Milwaukee to watch the Dodgers play the Brewers. Got a new stadium off the list, sat first row right field. Sweet.
Nice. Home run ball?
Over me. I watched Freddie Freeman hit one directly over my head.
So
and
close.
Mookie Betts played catch right next to me, so that was kind of cool.
That's sweet.
Got on
That's
ESPN.
Right, you're on ESPN.
That is true.
We, as a group, went to a Timberwolves-Cavaliers game in Cleveland earlier this year, so that was super fun. And you know what every single one of those events has in common?
What would that be, Matt?
We used code HTS at SeatGeek to get $20 off our purchase.
Exactly. There's nothing better than saving money and supporting your favorite content creators, being Hot Take Sports. Make sure to use code HTS next time you check out at SeatGeek. Tickets not only for sporting events, but concerts, comedy shows, really anything that requires tickets. Summer is coming. All of your favorite events are coming up this summer, so make sure to use code HTS at SeatGeek for $20 off of your first purchase. And without further ado, let's dive into the episode. Welcome back to Hot Take Sports, episode 87. For those of you who are not watching on YouTube today, Brady, what is going on?
It's just Clayton and I today. As those of you on YouTube can see, Matt's on vacation. Isaac and Leah both had stuff come up tonight. So, it's just, the 698 duo here tonight. So
Absolutely. Two-man show for the night. Just for the night, though. But
hopefully next week we'll be back up to 4, and a couple weeks after that, full squad, because Matt's going to Wyoming, and he's in St. Louis right now. So
right. And after, we'll have one, I think we'll probably just have one, maybe 2 episodes together, and then I'll be gone for 3 when I'm in Alabama. So
yeah,
it'll be nice to have the team together at least for a little bit. But, Brady, how was your day?
Oh, I did absolutely nothing but watch Netflix and clean the room, so it's been a pretty standard day. How was work, Clayton?
Work was all right. We were supposed to be busy today, but people didn't show up for their interviews, so stayed busy regardless, but adjusting into the new internship. I moved back to Bowling Green in a week, exactly 7 days from now, so getting ready for that. I'll be getting ready for that this weekend, but since we're talking about the weekend, let's talk about last weekend a little bit. The 4 of you, because I had to work, went golfing. Talk about it, Brady. I was following you guys we use this app called 18 Birdies. So let's go ahead and pull up the scorecards and kind of see where the team was at last Friday.
Yeah, I had the 4 of us went golfing Saturday morning to celebrate my birthday, which, RIP to the last episode. We had some technical difficulties because heaven forbid we ever not have technical difficulties at Hot Take Sports.
Right.
The silent video of me getting silly stringed may appear in an episode.
Hopefully.
Haven't decided yet just because there's no audio, so it's just them throwing cans at me. But
hey, it was fun. We're figuring it out.
And there's still silly stringing confetti all over my freaking house.
Well, we know whose fault that is.
I was cleaning my room. I lifted the pillows off my bed today. You know what I found underneath my pillows, Clayton?
Confetti.
Emotional damage.
Oh, that was so funny. That was so worth it, though.
So mad at all of you.
Good.
Alright, where is this at? How do I get here?
All right, I'm here. It looks like Matt won with a 109. Isaac was second with 110. They played 18 holes, just so you guys know. Brady third with 125, and Leo fourth with 132. And then apparently I had 20.
Yeah, I think Isaac just kind of added your score there, a couple holes just for fun.
Just cause.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like Matt had 2,
Matt was going
3,
pretty good there for a while.
4, 5, 6, and a birdie. It's like he had
Isaac had a par 2 holes after getting a 10.
that. Yeah, that about sums up Isaac golfing. We talk about this all the time. Isaac is a long ball guy. Isaac can.
He had some missiles.
Isaac
off the tee
can
box.
rip it off the tee box. He's just terrible at anything inside of 50 yards. So that's what kind of levels the playing field with the rest of us.
About half my drives went 200, so that was nice. I would have done way better if I didn't get 9, either a 9 or a 10 on the first 2 holes of each set of 9. Because, 3 10s and a 9 are brutal.
It looks like you took 10s on 1, 2, and 10, and then a 9 on 11.
Yeah, then I had 9s on 11, 15, and 16.
Yeah, that's a little rough. Your lows were low, I guess. Your back 9 wasn't great.
No, well, the back 9 started out rough.
Honestly,
Well,
your front 9 wasn't great either, but you ended up making it work.
Yeah, I had some really good holes. A lot of those 9s should have been 5s, and I just could not putt to save my life. Well, and then there was this one hole. The green was up on a hill, and I was frustrated. I was having a rough hole, and I was just trying to chip it on the green, but I was far enough away to I had to swing decently hard.
Right.
And
You just launch it
the
over.
side of the green I was aiming at was literally a hill. So so the green was here, and a hill, then a bunker, and then a hill, and then the road.
Oh.
I went over everything, and I was laying the disc on the side of the road. I chipped over the bunker and everything. And we were like, where the heck is my ball? Couldn't find my ball. So finally, Isaac throws me his ball from the green so I can finish the hole. I look down, get ready to swing, and they're 3 feet over is my ball. I'm like... But then I tried to chip it back over, and I went back over the green. And I was just like, what am I doing here? So I ended up getting a 9 on the hole, and it was like...
I did that once, and my uncle said, I thought you weren't in the Army ROTC. You're in Air Force. And I was like, what are you talking about? And he goes, yeah, left, right. And I was like, well,
Wow.
dang. I was so
Hardcore.
mad. It was like it was a par 3, and it was the second hole. I think I drove to the left, or I drove to the right, chipped over, and then I went to try and chip back on from the left, and I put it back over, and he said that, and I was like, wow.
Have you
Thanks,
ever-
Uncle Fred.
Have you ever played the Pike Run in Ottawa?
No, I haven't. I haven't been to that course yet.
An 85-yard par 3 with water running in the middle of it?
Yep. That's what Matt was saying.
I
Let's see if I can find that.
hit such a hard stinger on that hole. My ball literally skipped off the water and would have gotten back out of the water if it didn't hit a rock. It was I literally watched it skip off the water and hit a rock on the side of the other half, and I was just like, oh. Then Leo hit the water. Matt got over the water by this much, and it rolled down into the tall grass right above the water and just sat.
That's so unlucky.
And then you had Isaac, who literally cleared the entire hole.
Yeah. We have a wide variety of strengths, I guess I would say, is
Yeah.
the nicest way of putting it.
Honestly, because Isaac's driver heavy.
Isaac's driver heavy.
I'm iron heavy. I hit my irons really well, other than just trying to chip onto the green.
I'm a chip and putt guy. My short game is literally what saves me. If I can get...
My short game is miserable.
Well, it doesn't help that, when you putt, your wrists look like you're Mr. Miyagi painting something.
It was way better when we went.
Good.
I'm trying to get figured out.
That was one of the big holes in your game, was that.
Well, I was really afraid that the big hole in my game was the fact that I hadn't actually figured out how to swing my driver. And then I figured it out by the second hole, apparently, so...
I think I found that short little hole. Dang.
14.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah. I'll get you guys up to Riverby at some point this year up by Perrysburg. But they have a 99-yard par 3, and the green literally bumps elbows with a pond. It is I was so mad. I would have chipped right over it, but the wind blew in and blew one of my favorite Callaways right into the water.
The second hole we played, I smoked it. That was probably, I think that was my 230 drive. And the green was up here on a hill, and there was like a little pond down here, and I was here, and Isaac was like, "All right, you got to grip it and rip it," and I was like, "Okay, that makes sense." First one, a little too much lift on it, went up, went down in the water just at the edge. I was like, "Oh, so close." Then, because you got the green here, and then the next fairway over, because the next hole's a par 3, so you got the green here, and then the fairway is like over here.
Okay.
I cleared the water and the green and ended up on the next fairway.
Nice.
With my pitching wedge. It was.
You shanked it that bad?
No, I had hit it. I had it. No. It was,
Oh, did you hit it straight?
I hit
and
it
went
straight.
there?
It just went. It just catapulted.
Ugh.
I was like, I didn't even know I could hit a golf ball that hard. If I could hit a baseball that hard, we'd be going places.
Yeah. But yeah, that's kind of all I got for your round. I guess we didn't talk about Matt and Leo's strengths on the golf course. Don't want to leave them out. Matt, I would say, is a relatively short iron guy.
Yeah.
7 through 9, I would say he's pretty solid, and then Leo's good at putting.
He was hitting the 3-wood all right on Friday. He was doing a good job. But yeah, Leo was definitely showing up on the green.
Yeah.
He had a rough day, but made up for it on the green, especially in the back nine. Back nine miracle was in full force.
That's why he's got it on the hat. But
Yes.
I mentioned earlier that Matt ended up beating Isaac by 1. Brady, you want to talk about it came down to the last hole. Do you want to talk about the last hole?
So last hole, probably I think it was the furthest hole of the day. It was like a 400-yard par 5. Isaac crushed it, had a great drive. And then he went up with I think he used his pitching wedge, smoked it past the hole. And then he actually chipped onto the green close to get it for par. And then he 2-putt and Matt 1-putted for 4, and it was brutal.
Ugh. That's a rough way to go. Matt told me that night that he wasn't keeping the score, so he didn't know how big it was that Isaac missed that first putt.
No, Isaac and I definitely went against ourselves keeping track, because about the 4th hole, mostly Matt decided that they wanted to do cart v cart, and so that's what we did. So I just kind of keeping track because I was terrified of Leo catching me. I was more worried about Leo catching me than Isaac was about losing to Matt, and the opposite happened.
Right.
But no, Isaac got so superstitious with it. I told him, he drove for the first 4 holes. I eventually told him scoot over. I'm driving because I thought he was gonna run me off the cart path. And then as soon as I started driving, he started playing well. So he goes, "All right, you're driving the rest of the day." And I was like, "Oh, all right."
Was it you two versus Matt and Leo?
Yeah. Yeah. So it ended up being first to the last with the middle 2.
Right.
It's made for an interesting time. It was fun though.
Yeah.
Enjoyed it.
Always happy to be out on the course. I think you and me might be going out Saturday. Maybe. We'll figure it out. We talked about that a little bit earlier. But, yeah, we'll see what this weekend brings. I know it's supposed to rain, so we'll just kind of play it by ear.
Hopefully it's not gross, but I'm not overly confident.
Well, you want to transition to some MLB action?
I would love to.
Our division is trash. Oh, my God.
Well, the Guardians are in 3rd place, but they're up 1-0 right now, so that's a W at least.
They're just, I don't know. I haven't been super impressed with our pitching this year, really, I guess. So far has been the name of the game.
Yeah. Bybee finally had his first rough outing last night. Got roughed up by the Tigers of all teams.
Yeah, that was not a good look.
After pitching really well against the Yankees, that was kind of a rough one. But everybody's gonna have a rough start or 2 here and there. It's just part of it. Finished up a 3-gamer with Detroit tomorrow. Then the Angels come to town for 3, and it's kind of where we're at. But Clayton, the Yankees have a winning record,
and they're still in last. That's so funny. Nothing makes me happier than that.
Being 19-17 and being in last place is ridiculous, because that would be half a game out of first place in our division.
Right.
I still can't believe the Tigers are in 2nd place right now.
They'll cool off. They always do.
Oakland is still 8-28, so
they're trash, dude.
14 games under a week and a half into May. or 14 games.
How many
14 games
realistically
back.
do you think they'll end back? Like, what's your final record prediction for them? We're a month and a half in. We're like 6 weeks in.
I think my final prediction is gonna be 48-1, 14, something like that.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I don't think they win 50 games now at this point.
Uh,
I think any decent talent they have that isn't like super controllable, they'll trade at the deadline. So
well, they have to. It's not like they're not really playing for anything. I saw the other day that they were selling. Shoot, what were they selling? It's gonna annoy me if I can't think of it. Oh, it was like you could watch like 12 games for like a grand total at $96 at some
Yeah.
party deck out in left field.
What?
And the pinned
What are we
comment,
doing?
the pinned comment underneath that was, "Wow, you'll be able to catch a lot of home runs hit by whatever team is visiting Oakland."
yeah, for sure.
So that kind of sums up the Athletics season so far.
And the National League
Trash.
is just chaos. I mean, the Braves are the only team in the NL East with a winning record.
Trash.
Mets are 17-18, the Marlins are 17-19, the Phillies are 16-19, and the Nationals are 15-20. The Nationals are who are in last place. They're closer to the second place Mets, and the second place Mets are to the Braves. The Mets are 7 back. The
Wow.
Nationals are only 9 back. Then you have the NL Central, where Pittsburgh's in first place, and St. Louis is the worst team in the National League, and the only teams they're better than are Kansas City and Oakland.
That's rough.
It's ridiculous.
Sorry, Matt.
Yeah, R.I.P.
That's not a great start.
Well, and their $90 million catcher is now not catching for the next 2 weeks.
Right.
Which is
He hurt
the
his
worst.
hand, right?
No.
I'm thinking the wrong thing.
Nope. The pitchers were just complaining about his game calling.
Oh,
So
well,
they're DHing him.
that's funny. It's funny.
Bro won a World Series as a catcher with the Cubs, and just
Right.
can't even.
Did somebody hurt their finger recently? I feel like I didn't just pull that out of the back of my head. I could have. Anyway, moving on.
I think you're right. I just can't tell you who it is off the top of my head.
NL West, Dodgers on top. We kind of expected that, I
The
guess.
Diamondbacks are only half game back, which is
That's
kind
kind
of
of
a
wild.
surprise, honestly.
Rockies aren't doing as bad as I thought they would be.
No, they've kind of picked it up. Yeah, ever since they came to Cleveland, it's like 2 out of 3 they've been playing well.
Yeah,
Because-
that sounds about right.
Because of course they are.
They're the 4th worst team in the league record wise, but I thought they would be worse than that. So
Yeah.
shout out to them, I guess. Oh yeah, by the way, James Karinchak is still terrible, especially since it's just the two of us right now. This is going to be even funnier.
I was gonna tell you that we could talk about that.
Yeah, he's terrible.
He had a good outing the other night.
Hang on, let me pull up these receipts. You keep going.
It makes it so hard to defend him anymore.
He does.
Every time I defend him, especially to you, he always does horrible the next outing. And I'm like, Jimmy, you're 0-4 with like a 6 ERA. But half the time you're still really good. How am I supposed to defend you?
A text from Braden Richard that I received on April 5th reads, Karinchak is better than at least 80% of the relievers in the league, and I'll die on that hill. You want to talk about it? It's about a month later. You want to talk about it?
I'll still die on the hill.
You died 6 months ago.
The text was only 8 months ago.
Trash. He was bad last year. I told you that.
I'll die on that hill through the end of the year. Well, he didn't even start pitching till August last year.
Trash.
So
Probably because we benched him.
No, because he was injured until mid-July. He
Eh.
was in AAA for 2 weeks just to pitch again.
That's a myth.
It's actually fact.
Nah.
All right, go on. No, I'll give Karinchak through the end of the year, and if he finishes horribly, then my opinion will change.
Fair enough. But we are a month in. Who's your biggest surprise team so far, and who's your underperforming team?
Well, the surprise team's gonna be there's the Pirates and the Cardinals. The Pirates definitely the biggest surprise, and the Cardinals are definitely the most underwhelming team. The Cardinals should be where the Pirates are. They should be the team with 21 wins, not the Pirates.
You think?
I think Pirates should be like third place. I think they should be middle of the pack in that division.
Who should be at the bottom then? The Reds?
Probably the Reds. Yeah, because even the Cubs aren't that bad. Well, this is not even a knock on the Reds, because the Reds are okay, I guess. Right
That
now.
division is full of a bunch of mid teams. There's 4 mid. as of right now, there's 3 mid teams, and then the Reds are like a rung below them, and then the Cardinals are a rung below them.
Nothing irritates me more than the Brewers, because the Brewers really should never have been as good as they are. They have some good players, and then all their mid players just play above expectations. It's so annoying.
They also live in Wisconsin. That's
They
one thing that
cheese their way to
surprised me.
wins.
Well, that and like people show up.
Oh yeah, they
Like,
do.
you know what I mean? That really surprised me when I went
they're-
there. There were a lot of people there.
There's not much else to do.
Yeah.
Go to the cheese factory, eat some cheese, and farm.
Yeah. Yeah. That's about it. I'm thinking my surprise team this year, honestly, through the first half of the year, record-wise, I guess I'll start with the positive one. For the positive one, it would probably, I'm going to say it's the Rockies, even though they're in last place, because I thought the Rockies would be as bad as the A's are.
No, because the Rockies still they're still like Chris Bryant and stuff. Like the Rockies have good players.
They have Chris Bryant, not good player, not good players.
No, some of their other players are good. They just can't put it together.
Player. Name 3 good players on the Rockies that people would actually know, not just you.
Well, you probably won't know any of them, but
Exactly.
Matt and Isaac would at least know them. C.J. Crone, Ryan McMahon, Charlie Blackmon's always good, no matter how.
Well, he's like
ancient he is.
I was gonna say he's like 104.
And he still rakes.
Yeah. Well, playing in Colorado helps. I could pee over that fence.
I mean, he had a leadoff homer in our stadium, so there's that.
Well,
He doesn't even hit homers that much anymore, if that tells you anything.
I could pee over the fence in our stadium too. But I think, well, maybe I'll change my answer. I guess the Tigers are better than I thought they would be too.
That's fair.
Yeah, I would say maybe those two because,
They're
like I
such
said,
a weird team because like they're bad, but their record doesn't show it.
yeah, and I don't know. A lot of their good guys are in
my
like
paychecks too.
a lot of their good guys are in like AA and AAA right now, right? A lot of their
Yes.
good prospects.
Yeah.
So in a year or two, that team will be good. But
I was gonna say right now one of their biggest question marks is third base, and third baseman Toledo right now had a 16-game hitting streak during last month. So there's that.
so you think he'll get called up here soon?
I mean, he's the number 7 prospect in the org, so I'd imagine he'll get called up probably towards August.
That makes
It
sense.
should be before then though, because the Tigers are garbo.
And then, sorry, Matt, but I think I got to go with the Cards as my disappointing team, too.
There's not really any other choices. 'Cause,
I
like,
knew the A's were going to be bad, so I can't pick them. I knew the Royals were going to be bad, so I can't pick them.
Well, the White Sox have been bad too. Like the Cardinals are definitely the most disappointing team, but the White Sox are up there too.
Yeah, the White Sox never put it together. The culture
No.
there must just be terrible. Because they've had some decent players come through there, like Jose Abreu. Great example.
Yeah, who's in Houston now, which definitely doesn't help.
Yeah, that hurts.
Well,
but
Tim Anderson's been out the last couple of weeks. He just got back, so that'll help.
but it seems like that team, even when we were kids, like they could never pull it together. Ever.
No, they've always been mid.
Yeah.
Like there
They've
was some stat like since 19 of something, they're like 1,296 and 1,296 or whatever at the end of last season. I'm like,
Wow.
how do you just pull that stat out? Like
That's crazy.
that's perennially mid.
Mid.
MID mid.
But anything else you want to talk about baseball wise? We'll kind of transition to some NBA playoffs and NBA awards.
I'm okay with going to the NBA. I don't really have much else to talk about in the MLB just because like it's May, so it's kind of sorting everything out. We really hit the nail on the head with the Cardinals suck and the White Sox are mid.
Right? And I'm a little disappointed in our team because I thought we would be better than we are, but
That's fair.
yeah, it is what it is. I'm not super upset about where the Guardians are. We're young at the end of the day. We just got to figure it out.
I was gonna say we're still in the hunt, even 3 games under 500. So
Okay. Well, the defensive, I guess we'll start here. The all defensive team came out today. So, first team, we got Jaren Jackson Jr., Drew Holiday, Brooke Lopez, Evan Mobley, and Alex Caruso. I like all that. That all
Yeah,
makes sense.
I agree with that. Solid list.
And then we have Derek White, Draymond, OG Anunoby, Dylan Brooks, and Bam Adebayo for second team.
Derek White and Dylan Brooks being on there is chaos.
They're on there. I was thinking about this when I was driving home from work today. We talked about this a little bit in the group chat today. Matt thought Jaden McDaniels should have been on there and Jared Vanderbilt too for the Lakers. My thing with I can't really defend why Jared Vanderbilt's not on there, but my theory with why they didn't put Jaden McDaniels on there is because like the Timberwolves are not a popular team. You know what I mean? I think that's part of it. I really do.
That, but at the same time, if you're going for not popularity, why would you put Dylan Brooks on there? Dylan Brooks talked a bunch of trash, and then LeBron just smacked him in the face by proving he doesn't know how to play defense.
What do you mean? He's got the bad boy mentality though. Like people will go towards the Memphis Grizzlies now. What even with Dylan Brooks gone, they still have kind of that bad boy rap.
Well, yeah, because they've got Ja.
Exactly. I think that's because their popularity is growing. I think that's why they gave it to him. That's just a theory. I didn't watch enough Timberwolves basketball to really have an opinion on Jaden McDaniels, so I can't really say.
I'd say McDaniels was good. I definitely think he was better than either Brooks or Derek White. But I mean, what's NBA all defensive without a Celtics player? You know.
That's true. It seems like I'm kind of.
Marcus Smart didn't even make.
I was gonna say Marcus. That's what I was just gonna say. Marcus Smart wasn't on there, and then obviously Jaren Jackson Jr. won the award this year. Happy to see Evan Mobley on there. That's a step in the right direction for us.
Yeah.
Look, he will win one within the next 2 years. I think. For sure.
I like Mobley as a player. I do.
I do too. We made the right decision there at 3 when we drafted him. Yeah.
I thought Evan Mobley was 2.
No, he was 3.
Oh.
I'm 95% sure. Let me look it up. Evan Mobley.
Who else was that
draft? That was in 2019, I think, right?
I think so. That sounds right.
No, 2021. My bad.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because that was
second year. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that was Jalen Green and Cade Cunningham were picked before him. Yep, because we had the 3rd pick.
I forgot that Jalen Green went that high.
Then Scotty Barnes, Jalen Suggs.
Yeah. Okay, I got it.
Giddy, Kuminga, Franz Wagner,
7?
Davion Mitchell, Zaire Williams, James Bouknight, I don't know, something like that.
Yeah.
And then Josh Primo, Chris Duarte, Moses Moody. I've never even heard of that guy. Corey Kispert, Alperen Sengun, traded to Houston.
Sengun.
Who the heck is that?
He's their young center. He's actually pretty good.
Trey Murphy, Trey Mann, Kai Jones, trash.
Okay.
I only said that because he plays for the Knicks. Jalen Johnson, Keon Johnson, Isaiah Jackson, Usman Garuba.
You're starting to dig into the names I don't know.
Josh Christopher, Quentin Grimes,
Okay.
Nashawn Highland,
Bones.
Cam Thomas, Jaden Springer, Dayron Sharp, and then you guys picked Santi Aldama.
Santi Aldama traded him to the Grizzlies.
Yep. So, I don't know why I read the whole thing, but I did. I knew we picked him at 3. I just couldn't remember what year. It's crazy to think that he's only been in the league now for, last year was his 3rd year? So it would have been 21, 22. No, last year was his 2nd year.
Yeah, this was year 2, yeah.
Man, it's crazy to think about. But let's jump into current series going on. In the East, Miami's up 3-1 on the Knicks. Carson Houck said in our fantasy basketball group chat yesterday that Miami might be the best 8 seed ever.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to disagree with him now. It makes a lot of sense.
I mean, they're doing this all without Tyler Hero.
Right.
Which is even crazier to think about.
And then Philly, Boston 2-2. That's a great series so far. James Harden has either played like MVP Harden or played like the guy from Walmart that looks like James Harden. There's no in between. In the 2 games they've won, he's scored like 45 or more, and in the 2 games they've lost, I think he's had less than 20.
Yeah.
So when he plays well, they win. When he doesn't, they lose. So far, that appears to be the difference. Denver, Phoenix 2-2. Hey, Phoenix's owner literally.
Yeah.
I can't say what I want to say, but no. He threw a forearm
At
for
Jokic,
context,
yeah.
Jokic kind of ran over there, and the Suns owner kind of like threw a little forearm at him, and then Jokic didn't shove him that hard. The guy definitely sold, but he did push him, and he fell over. Flop, $5,000 fine. But yeah, you're a wimp, dude. Man up a little bit. Your team doesn't need that much of your help.
I was gonna say, you're an owner and you have a big three that should take you far against the Nuggets. Like, you don't need the help.
No.
It's
And then
still wild because the Nuggets started that series up 2-0.
right. And then Phoenix won the 2 that were in Phoenix, so they'll go back to Denver.
But the biggest surprise to me, though, was the Lakers right now.
Lakers up 3-1. They won last night.
LeBron's carrying again.
I was gonna say they're putting it all together at the right time. I don't know, man. I don't see a clear cut number one right now at all.
Betting odds have the Lakers as the favorite to win the Western Conference for the first time, like, almost all year.
Well, that's also because they want all the LA people to put money down on them so they can lose it.
That's probably true, too. I mean, 3-1 against the Warriors, and then I think they genuinely could hold their own against either the Suns or the Nuggets.
I think they could for sure.
I still wish the Kings would have won that series. I would have loved to see the Kings do well.
Yeah, I agree. I think, honest to God, right now, I think my pick to win the whole thing is probably Miami. They play the most like a team.
I think Miami and LA are gonna duke it out again, just like the bubble.
I hope so.
That'll be proof that the bubble was real basketball.
Well, yeah. If anything, in my opinion, the bubble was harder.
Oh, I agree. But
Like-
it'll finally quiet down
It'll quiet down all the
myth
haters,
of
yeah.
The bubble being fake basketball and
Yeah. I love the bubble.
Oh,
Because you could
I
just
love
come
the bubble,
home and
too.
goof off and watch basketball all day. It was great.
exactly. The bubble was that was honestly one of the only good things to come from all that chaos. But
Yeah. I did enjoy the
great
bubble.
basketball. And T.J. Warren.
Bubble hero. Bubble Suns are the greatest basketball team of all time.
Yeah, yeah, they still didn't win a ring.
Yeah. They didn't even make the playoffs.
No, yeah, you're right. Yeah, because they went 8-0.
They went 8-0 and didn't make the playoffs. But do you have anything else on the NBA?
No, I don't.
Who's your pick right now? It's conference semis. Who's your pick?
I'm gonna take the Lakers.
You're going to take the Lakers?
I think the Suns choke it, and I think Jokic does his yearly depart from the Western Conference Finals, and
Yeah.
after that, I mean, with no Steph Curry in the way, it's LeBron. Like,
Yeah.
it's always been Curry and LeBron's way for the most part.
And like I said, they're heating up at the right time. This is the time that you want everything to be falling into place, and it is. It's
Yeah.
falling into place almost perfectly for them.
Stretch run basketball. I mean, right now they're 8-3 in the playoffs. I think they beat the Grizzlies in 6.
Yep.
Um,
And they've only dropped one to the Warriors so far.
yeah. Oh, sorry, 7-3, trying to be 8-3.
Yeah, right.
Let me just correct that. But they are 8-3. They're a playing team.
Oh shoot! Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, the Lakers were a playing team. Look at me knowing stuff.
I think they're the only playing team left.
The Heat.
You weren't. Oh yeah, the Heat
Yeah,
were an 18. I
Heat
just
were
said
18.
that. Yeah.
And the
That'd be
Lakers
really
were
funny if
7.
both of the teams that made the finals were playing teams.
Be it first.
Yeah. But to kind of transition, we don't have too much in this episode. Like I said, it's just the two of us, so I'm sure we'll dive back into most of this stuff next week.
I was gonna say we'll have to go back over the NFL draft at some point.
Right. But I only have one big thing for the UFC. Big title fight last weekend. But in the co-main event, Bilal Muhammad beat Gilbert Burns. That's Gilbert's third fight in 106 days. They both took this
Why?
fight. He wanted to get, if he won, he probably would have been next in line for a title shot. Both of the guys that took this fight took it on short notice to try and get the next title shot after Colby Covington does.
I guess that just sounds horrible. 3 fights in 106 days.
Well, also, if you want to get the boss man on your side, you fight a lot. Dana likes guys who are active. If you're fighting once a year, like he does not like that. Dana likes guys that fight minimum twice a year.
Do we have any rumblings on a
Minimum.
Brian fight?
Brian normally fights 3 times a year. Brian, if I had to guess, hopefully will fight in August. I would say, realistically, maybe late July or August, and then probably fight again around November, December.
Okay.
That's my guess. Obviously, I haven't talked to Brian in a little while, but
We should do that.
we should. We need to get him back on here, especially once he gets booked again.
Yes.
Well, always love to see him back. They booked the guy that I wanted to see him fight for International Fight Week, just against another guy,
Who is it?
Nico Price.
Oh,
Who's
okay.
Nico?
Yeah. Nico.
He's mentioned Nico Price, I think, in all 3 episodes we've done.
Yes. Yeah. Because we usually bring him up, then we talk about it.
Who is Nico Price booked against? Mixed martial arts career. Is scheduled to face. He's fighting Robbie Lawler. That's right. Because Brian knocked out Robbie Lawler last year at International Fight Week.
Oh, that was International Fight Week last year?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
I still
normally,
do all this stuff,
that's
so.
generally speaking the biggest card of the year. I wish they would have made John Jones versus Stipe that weekend, but that just fell apart. So the main event for that weekend is now Brendan Moreno is fighting. That's a flyweight champ.
Okay. And
The co-main is a middleweight fight between a South African guy. His name's like Dereks Duplessis. Izzy's beat everybody in the top 5 now.
Yeah.
So, and he's number 6. So if he beats the number 1 guy, Robert Whitaker, he'll go up to fight for the title next.
Okay.
But yeah, that's about all I got. Like I said, I hope Brian gets booked soon, and I hope that we continue getting some good pay-per-views. I've been told this. I didn't watch this one. I went to the races instead to watch Drew. But this one,
Shout
I've
out
been
Drew
told it didn't flop, but it didn't do as well as the other ones. But we've been blessed with some pretty good pay-per-views so far, especially the last 2.
Yeah. The only one that's really flopped is the one we bought here.
Yeah. Last year, that one had arguably the worst title.
That was a year ago, 2 days ago.
Right. That was
May 7th, 2022.
Arguably the worst title fight in history. But we did watch the knockout of the year.
Oh, did it end up winning?
I think so. Tony Ferguson getting destroyed by Michael Chandler. Speaking of which, he got arrested for a DUI like 2 days ago.
Well,
Completely rolled his truck and crashed into a bunch of parked cars.
Well, to me, the highlight of that night is still Isaac making that catch over the cooler.
That's true. That's very true. Isaac
didn't get it on video.
Oh
Sad.
my gosh. You know how much I would pay to watch like a 3-hour highlight reel of all of our funniest moments?
I'm not sure we need to have that in recording anyway.
It'd be so funny. Oh my gosh. But do you have anything else you want to bring up before we transition out? Well, I guess I'll talk.
I think that's a podcast.
I got one more thing. I mentioned that I went and watched Drew last weekend for the first time in person. Yeah. He didn't qualify very well. He had a spring that came loose in his engine, so he started near the back. He started 7th of 8th in his heat race, got up to 5th, and they take the top 4 for what's called the A main.
Yeah.
So he started, I think, outside front row. So he started 2nd and finished 3rd in the B, so he got bumped up into the A, which is good.
Okay.
They started, I think, 24 officially in that race, and he ended up, there were a bunch of cars that spun out, but he ended up spinning out, and then another guy like slammed into his front end. So that he had to put a whole new front end on his car. It was a whole new thing. I was standing on top of a semi truck watching this, so shout out to my cousin Kate. That was really fun. Yeah, being in the pits at a sprint car race is one of the funniest things of all time.
Yeah.
Because you have dudes that literally have like trailers that like your dad would have, like an open trailer like with tires piled into it. And then you have people that have like a semi truck like the one that's parked down there. They've got like TVs in it, kitchen, like bathrooms in it, and the one that we were in, literally there were 2 levels. The first one was where their 4-wheeler that you used to like push it out was with.
Yeah.
And the car, you go up top, you climb up this little ladder, go into the 2nd level. They had a spare car. Like, you know what I mean? It's
wild.
It's crazy to see the setups that some people have. But then there was a little hatch on top so we could get out and watch Drew from there.
That's nice. So that'd be a good view.
Yeah. Well, like I said, look out for an HTS vlog at the races at some point this summer. We'll make sure to get that done.
One of these days it will finally happen, I promise.
Right. And we'll make sure to get Drew on the podcast too this summer. That might be, we might do a race day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? like just an entire day of
HTS live, baby.
Exactly. We start in the morning. We record in the morning, hopefully, because hopefully Drew won't have too much to do. I could probably try and help him get some of the maintenance stuff done that Friday night. But if we can get it done in the morning and then vlog in the afternoon, that'd be pretty fun.
I agree. I think it'd be good.
But that's a podcast.
The podcast.
The two-man duo plugging through for today. That concludes episode 87 of the Hot Take Sports Podcast. Make sure to follow us on all our social medias at Hot Take Sports 16. Send us a tweet, comment, and your best hot take. We love hearing from you guys. Use code HTS at SeatGeek for $20 off of your first purchase. Again, that's code HTS at SeatGeek. Minor league baseball games, concerts, comedy shows, anything that you could think of that requires tickets, they are on SeatGeek. So make sure to use code HTS to get $20 off of your first purchase. Shout out Drew Siferd Racing, and we will see you all next time.